Dreamlet exists to inspire ideas that empower. It's on the About page actually, but yeah, cool. What does that even entail? There are essentially 4 areas that I want to hit. They are 1. Productivity, which includes lifestyle and organization. 2. Direction and purpose, which includes philosophy and introspection. 3. Mindset and perspective, which includes mindfulness and psychology. And finally, number 4. Emotional well-being, which includes self-love, communication, and connections with others. Each area ties into the others. For instance, a strong mindset can increase your productivity and emotional well-being. On the other hand, having no purpose can lead you to suffer emotionally and lower productivity. What I seek to do for each area is go through these 4 phases. Phase 1. Research all I can on the topic by reading books written by experts with decades of experience, going through online courses created by the top figures in the field such as Tony Robbins and Tim Ferriss, going out and actually talking to successful entrepreneurs, artists, and performers out there, as well as researching their insights that already exist. And finally, I wouldn't even go through with this project if I didn't test and try everything I learned on myself. So the last source of research will be from my own personal experience. After all of that, I moved to phase 2. Analyze and synthesize everything that I learned. I'll go through all the information I gathered and make sure that there's no BS. Thanks to my background in physics and math, I'll deeply and systematically analyze every piece of information to make sure it makes sense logically and scientifically. Not a single inconsistency will leak through. After that, I'll combine all the knowledge into one clear and organized guide. Whether it's in the form of a video, book, or something else will be decided later on. I'll most likely do all forms eventually. Next, we enter phase 3. I make content discussing the most important ideas and pieces of knowledge for you guys. What makes the content different from the rest who have already done this is my creative input and personal perspective. I'm strictly against mindlessly regurgitating information. That's why phase 2 exists. This also means that the information will be shaped slightly by my perspective, but that's true of any information that isn't based directly on first principles. Of course, I'll be clear which information can be directly linked to sound principles and which carry my perspective. Finally, phase 4, the action plan. One of the most valuable lessons I learned in my life is that you can have all the best information, knowledge, and ideas in the world, but without taking action or doing anything with it, in the end, it doesn't matter. That's why my final phase will be creating an action-based course that will take you from knowing to actually understanding and implementing the ideas. I think the worst mistake that you can make is thinking that knowing something means you understand it. Just think of it this way. If you've watched a ton of tutorials on how to backflip, you might say you have the knowledge to backflip, but without ever having done a backflip, you really don't understand it at all. That's the purpose for building the course, to help you understand by going through a series of actions, implementing the knowledge. By the end of it, I'll have done each phase for all 4 of the areas. I'm starting off with productivity, completing it before moving on to the other ones. I outlined the steps as 4 phases, but I'll be doing actions from each phase at the same time. For instance, once I break down a book, I'll go to phase 2, then 3, then 4, and then back to 1. This master plan is definitely going to take some time since I'm just one guy, but I'm determined to see it through 100%. One of the reasons I'm doing this is because I have an obsession with self-improvement. My thoughts are this: if I only get one life, I believe I should strive to live it as my best self. Everyone struggles with one of these areas in their lives at one point, so I'm hoping the work I do can have a positive effect on people's lives. After all, Dreamlet exists to help by inspiring ideas that empower.